In Genesis 37 to 50, we are introduced to a young man named Joseph. He was the beloved son of his father, Jacob. His father favored him greatly, even giving him a special coat as a symbol of his love. But this symbol of love was also a spark that stirred jealousy in the hearts of his elder brothers. Above all, Joseph carried something even more dangerous than favor. He carried dreams that revealed a future where he would rise to a position of authority and be above his brothers. When Joseph shared these dreams with his brothers didn't see destiny. They saw arrogance and disrespect, and their jealousy began to grow into something far more destructive. Until one day the simmering jealousy erupted, and they turned on him. They stripped him of his coat, his identity, his place in the family, and sold him into slavery. Then they returned home and lied to their father that Joseph was dead, a lie that shattered their father's heart. As a slave, Joseph was taken to Egypt, where he was sold to a powerful man named Potiphar. Even in slavery, Joseph remained faithful and diligent. He worked with excellence and integrity, and soon he found favor in his master's eyes. But just as it seemed like things were finally turning around, he was betrayed again. Potiphar's wife falsely accused him of trying to assault her, and he was consequently thrown into prison. Another pit, another setback, but Joseph didn't break. Even in the darkness of a prison cell, he remained faithful. He used his gift to interpret dreams and helped others, even when it brought him no immediate reward. While in prison, days turned into months and months turned into years. Until one day, everything changed. Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, was haunted by dreams no one could understand. Even his magicians and wise men could not provide a true interpretation of his dreams. And in that moment, Pharaoh's chief cupbearer remembered the time when he was in prison with Joseph. And Joseph correctly interpreted his dream, predicting that he would be restored to his position as chief cupbearer. He then suggested Joseph to the king. Joseph was dragged out of prison, and he stood before a king. Through God's wisdom, Joseph interpreted the dreams, warning of a coming famine and advising how to prepare to save lives. Pharaoh saw it immediately. This was no ordinary man. In a single moment, Joseph's life changed. He was lifted from prison, and Pharaoh made him second in command over all of Egypt. The same man who had been betrayed, enslaved, and forgotten was now in a position to save nations from famine. And then came the moment no one could have predicted. His brothers stood before him, the same brothers who had destroyed his life. Now Joseph had a choice, either revenge or forgiveness. And in a moment of grace that would echo through history, he chose forgiveness, because what they meant for harm, God had used it for good. Joseph's story reminds us that difficult seasons are not the end of our story. Your waiting season may actually be your preparation season. The challenges you face can be shaping your strength, your character, and your purpose. During all the years that Joseph spent in prison, he could think to himself that his friends, brothers, and acquaintances were all moving forward and making progress in their lives while he remained confined, forgotten, and delayed. Many of us face similar moments. Many times in life, when we go through a season of afflictions and years happen to go by, we may begin to look at ourselves as failures. We may begin to look around and compare with our friends who are moving forward with their lives. Friends who may be getting married, getting a baby, finishing school, building careers, buying their first homes, or achieving major milestones. In these moments, it's easy to believe we're falling behind. Joseph may have felt the same way while he was in prison. Watching others progress, he could have thought his life was on hold. But what he didn't realize was that his time in the prison, the trenches, was not a delay, but preparation. That season was shaping him for something greater. When his moment finally came, everything changed quickly. He went from being forgotten in a prison to becoming the right hand of the king. What seemed like lost time became the foundation for accelerated purpose. In the same way, if you find yourself in a difficult or stagnant season, it doesn't mean you're late in life. Your trenches could be the very place where your strength, character, and future are being built. Like Joseph, you may not see it right now, but things can change suddenly. Doors can open, opportunities can come, and everything you went through can begin to make sense. Remember, what feels like a delay may actually be your turning point. Stay faithful, keep growing, keep trusting, because your story is still unfolding. and your greatest moment may be closer than you think.